so I hope this is working. Anyway, it's Amber Love from Vodka O'Clock Podcast, and I am doing a very rare video vlog here for Vodka O'Clock, mainly because I just got home from FlameCon, the first ever FlameCon. It was held in Brooklyn, and to give you a little history, it was organized because there was a serious lack of Comic-Cons devoted to the queer community. I think there's one out in the Midwest, and there might be one out in the West Coast, but there really wasn't anything here on the East Coast. So FlameCon happened. It was organized by the great people at Geeks Out, which is where I got my shirt that a lot of people comment on, the Strong Female Character t-shirt. So it was really exciting that they had this, and what they did was they funded it through Kickstarter. So if you had backed it at the appropriate level, you got a ticket and a pass into the show. So it was held in Brooklyn, so that had some pros and cons. First of all, not being in Manhattan is always yay. The problem is going to Brooklyn means that I have to drive because there's no like direct transit from really Jersey to Brooklyn. So that's one thing. At least with Manhattan, I can, usually find something else, usually. But regardless of what borough you're in, parking is dreadful and it absolutely sucks. I just kept circling because people they don't paint lines in New York. A lot of times their lanes don't even have lines, but their parking spaces definitely do not have lines. So there would always be like a bunch of cars and then sort of like this half a space about the size for like a Fiat, and that's about it. Or those tiny little clown cars, whatever they are, the minis and smart cars and stuff. So anyway, where I'm from, we drive like regular size cars. So I just, circled around and eventually found a parking space that I was hoping was legal. And yay, my car was not booted or towed. So it was held at the Grand Prospect Hall, which is a really awesome looking, beautiful, historic kind of building. Beautiful historic kind of buildings have their own set of problems. There was like no air conditioning to speak of. We were all just dying of the heat. It was our panel was like 1 hour of performance art of me sweating. Is pretty gross. But remarkably, the thing that you don't find, as you do with other Comic Cons where there's 100,000 people, is like that weird con funky stench coming down the aisles. You didn't have that, even though we were all dripping and gross. There was not a lot of accessibility as far as like wheelchair access goes. So I was there, I was tagging along with my friend Jill a lot, and so wheelchair accessibility is an issue, and that includes the really cool old-timey elevators. They were cool, and they had to be manually operated by an actual elevator operator, but they're really, really small, and so it wasn't the worst experience, but it's not like what you expect in like a hotel where there's usually some space and you can fit like 6 people. This was not that kind of situation. This was like 2 people could fit and that was it. The bathrooms. Now at this particular convention, they made all of the bathrooms gender neutral. And I prefer if a convention makes 1 or 2 of the bathrooms gender neutral so that people have the option, but I still like to have a ladies' room. Because I just don't feel comfortable walking in, seeing men at urinals. It's just not what I want to see and not what I want to deal with. And ladies tend to just be neater. So yeah, it was one of those issues. And they also didn't have great accessibility there either. The stalls were really, really small. So there was only one accessible bathroom, and you had to like kind of go find it. It was not where any of the convention stuff was going on. The convention was laid out really cool. There's a main ballroom, there's a big balcony that wraps around up top, so half of the balcony people could hang out on, and then the other half of the balcony that overlooked it, we were like in these opera boxes, and that was the VIP lounge area. So there were big comfy seats and coffee and juices and sodas and stuff for VIP stuff. And then next to the ballroom was a second room where there was a refreshments bar and stuff set up. and the staff was immaculate. Like, they were all in their black suits and white shirts and bow ties and stuff. So the staff was really gorgeous and professional. Everybody there was super nice. The volunteers, the FlameCon volunteers, were amazingly nice. Everybody was so friendly. And then, so there was like that middle room that had a little stage, and Sarah Donner played even for a little while. They had some other performance type things, I think, going on. And then there was like this solarium room, which was this amazing sort of greenhouse room, but unfortunately it was even hotter out there. So those vendors were just sweltering. I'm not sure how people didn't pass out. But Northwest Press had a booth, and they were out in that greenhouse room. And, so that was really cool, was that I couldn't have a booth myself, but I could at least direct people through Twitter and all day tell them, that the Rise Comics Against Bullying books were there, available at the Northwest booth. And then outside from there was like this really cool patio area outside. I didn't really spend any time out there, but I poked my head out just to see what it was like, and there were tables and chairs, and it was really pretty. So our panel was me and Jill Pantozzi and Jenny Wood, and that was the last panel of the day. So people were exhausted and sweaty and gross and nearly passing out. I think half of the audience was asleep. So I don't think anybody was actually there to see me or hear me, but they were there to talk to Jenny and Jill. And at least I got to talk about the charity work and projects like Comics Against Bullying and cosplay and diversity and different issues like talking about body sizes. So there were a couple cameras rolling, so I'm hoping I have access to finding out whichever websites were recording those. I have the audio, so hopefully the audio is not bad. We were supposed to have slides running though through it, and I guess there was just miscommunication. The slides never got up, so I will share those on my own site. And otherwise, it was a really awesome first time. Some glitches, but an amazing volunteer staff. I can't really say enough of how great they were. And it was over by 6, so the hours were 12 to 6, which to me was awesome. I didn't have to leave too crazy early, and I got home and it wasn't pitch dark out, so a lot of driving, and I managed just fine. And there was some big after party, but I just wasn't gonna stay for that. And if there's another FlameCon, really, you should check it out, because it was awesome and a lot of fun and a lot of great cosplay. And if you ever feel like you're uncomfortable at a regular convention, then this is probably the kind of place that you want to check out if you're in that area.